Cool. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this live class. Say, Josh, say hi.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Cool. So if you want to chat, feel free to use the chat box. Danny, Brenda, David, Matt, David, Sean, Rod, Carl, Kent, Felicia, Susan, Ramil, James, Ken, Tracy, Chad. Awesome. Cool, guys. Okay. Let me chat with you. All right, so if you've never been a part of any of these live classes before, we've had a couple of them now. And one, they're super fun. Two, we put this class on our Online Empire Academy podcast. So if you have iTunes or Stitcher, you can listen to it there. But the cool thing about being here, as opposed to listening on Stitcher and so on, is that you get to ask questions after the fact. So Josh is going to be sharing some of his stuff today in this live class. You get to do some Q&A after, so that's why we have these live classes going on. Super, super cool. Other cool little things that I want to go into before we actually start the class, start the podcast / class, is so the first thing is that another benefit of coming to these classes, or at least sending people to these classes, is if you're not an affiliate for the Online Empire Academy, you can go to theonlineempireacademy.com / or actually just go to .com, and then up on the top there's an affiliate section. If you send people to these free classes that we do every week, if they end up buying something, it could be a year down the road, and it could be whatever product is a part of our affiliate program. You actually get credit for that sale too, which is cool. So just another cool reason why to send people here. We do these free classes primarily, though, so that we can build community, so that Josh can share not only what he's learning from on his own, but other people as well. So Josh, you have actually a whole lineup of people coming soon, right?
Yeah. I've got a bunch of people coming in, and also like if you guys have success from anything we do, we want to hear from you, and I'd love to share your success as well on these podcasts. So please communicate with us. We want to hear how things are going.
Cool, cool. So we have Rod and David. Thanks so much, man. Rod says hi, Dean. Hi, Josh. And David says, David,
Hello.
how's it going? Um, So cool. So what we're going to do is we are going to start the actual class and go into it. You're going to hear me actually announce the podcast. You're not going to hear any intro or anything like that, but you are going to hear me announce it, and then we're going to get right into it. Then afterwards, stay, and you'll get to ask Q&A of Josh, of me, and so on about everything that we talked about. And the cool thing is, in future classes, when we have big name guys, when we have people who say a Jim Cockrum or someone on the podcast, the great thing is you get to ask those questions of them. Pretty cool, yeah? All right, so we're going to get started now. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot them in the chat. Even as we're talking, there is an option to turn it into a question, turn your chat thing into a question. So be sure to do that. It helps us to kind of tally the questions. But Josh, kind of give them a little tiny sneak peek of what we're going to talk about before we start the podcast.
Yeah, I've been thinking about what I wanted to talk about this week and realized that there's been a gap for us of kind of giving the basics to making money quickly. So, just kind of the beginning steps on how to do what you need to do in order to get some profit moving.
That's awesome, man. I like that. I like profit and quick profit.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, we're going to get started, okay? In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Online Empire Academy podcast. My name is Dean Soto, and I'm here with Josh Woodward. Yes, we don't edit these things out, so I just messed up on the Online Empire Academy podcast. That's the way it rolls. So every week we do these podcasts. We do live podcasts every week. So if you go to theonlineempireacademy.com live podcast. It is a class. It is a class where you get to ask questions after. We do a lot of Q&A after, and we learn things that help us to make money quickly, whether it's from Josh or Brett or a guest that we have. We do a ton of really, really cool things. Right now we have a full house of people right now, and we just in fact, I'm going to go through the list real quick. And we have Susan, Ramil, James, Ken, Chad. I'm not going to go through everyone. Danny, Brenda, Matt, Rod. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here live. They get to ask questions. They get to be a part of this. Super cool. If you want to be a part of it, go to theonlineempireacademy.com/live podcast. All right, man. I'm here with Josh Woodward. What are we talking about, Josh?
Today we're talking about how to not be overwhelmed with online marketing. It's super easy, super simple. Just that's what I would boil it down to. Is I want to take some of the stresses of being an online entrepreneur and boil it down into some simple, easy steps.
That's awesome. I love it. So it is pretty overwhelming, right? It is to be an online entrepreneur. How do I not be overwhelmed, my man?
Well, I think for me when I started, there was a ton of information out there, and I needed somebody to kind of boil it down. And sitting with Brett and even sitting with you, Dean, it's been really good for me to understand. Oh, like it's baby steps that get you where you need to be. You don't need to do a giant leap before you get where you need to be. And part of that was kind of taking one bite at a time. And there's always going to be information out there. There's always new things going on. There's always somebody else who's got the new best product. And really the tried and true concepts are start small. Start with something like eBay or Amazon, a current marketplace that already has a ton of traffic in it. And I know we've talked about, I mean, that's primarily what we do talk about is eBay or Amazon. But for those of you who don't know where to start and how to go out and get product, I want to kind of share some top tips on how to do that really, really simply.
Awesome, man. I love it. I was muted, so ignore that long pause. Cool. So awesome. So how do I get started quickly, man?
I'd say start simple. Again, start with Amazon or eBay. And like what I started with was I went around my house and found old board games I wasn't ever going to use. Like I found stuff that, I mean, it's springtime right now. What are you going to sell at a garage sale if you were going to sell it? And go scan those. Scan the barcodes on everything you own. Like anything that you're not using all the time. Starbucks mugs, your kids' toys, their laser guns or whatever. Like go search them and see if you can make some profits. And then, clean them up and post them up on eBay. This was the first step to me that kind of got my feet off the ground. It was the baby step. It was the little bite that I got that got me excited. I think the first thing I sold was a board game, and I mean we had it for years and years and years. My parents had bought it and they're like, yeah, you can go ahead and sell it. I ended up making $20 on it, and I was like, man, this is like this is great. Like I took a Monopoly board we've never used and sold it and got $20 for it. And it kind of started this thing inside of me. So, step one is go into your house and find stuff that you have. I mean, everybody has something that's brand new that they haven't used. It's pretty typical for somebody to have something like that. And even for you guys who are veterans who've been doing this forever, if you want some extra cash in your pocket, this is a great way to do it. Just exhaust some of the things that you're not using. Like I just looked over at one of my shelves and I have a weight scale that I'm not going to use. I already have one. And I'm probably going to post that up this afternoon. And I know I could probably get like $20 for it. It's a great way to get some profits moving, as well as posting it on sites like Craigslist. Like if you have a couch that you're not using, like it's just sitting in your you couldn't fit a couch in a closet, but in your garage, like post it up on Craigslist, get some money going. My step number 2 would be take that money that you just got and go garage sailing. Garage selling is a gold mine. Don't ever pass up a garage sale. I go out every weekend, and it is really, really rare for me not to find at least $300 worth of product. And I'm typically spending like 50 to 60 bucks on that. Like, it's just I've trained myself to do it. But you guys, it's impossible to not go to a garage sale and not or to go to a garage sale and not find something that you can make money on. It's something that I'm passionate. I just like garage sales as is. And the thought that this is somebody's junk, like their junk, and I'm going to go buy it and I can make profit off of that. Like, again, for you veterans and even for you who are beginning, this is a spectacular way to diversify your account. Stick, I'd say stick with a niche. If you like toys, get a bunch of different toys. Go to a garage sale focusing on toys. If you focus on women's clothing, there are hundreds of garage sales where people are getting rid of their clothes. And it's a perfect opportunity to go and get those clothes. The jacket I'm wearing right now it's a vintage Levi's jacket. These sell for $35 on eBay all day long. And I found it at a garage sale. I think I picked it up for $2. Like, these are the things that are out there, and people are dying to get rid of their stuff. And it's an opportunity for you to take that and use it to your benefit.
That's
For
awesome.
those of you who, yeah, I
Sorry,
love
like,
it.
I need to. I want to ask some more things. So, like,
Totally.
what do you typically look for at a garage sale? Because in fact, I was just sitting in Brett's office with Scott
Uh,
and Brett and the whole crew there because they're really focusing because now is garage sale season, and they're really
yes.
focusing on garage sales. And one of the things that happened was Scott went out. Who I mean, Scott, he's a multi-million-dollar business owner. He's going out for garage sales. He finds, I want to say, he found uh, a huge amount of stuff that the person wanted to give away for $34. I don't know what it was. I forgot what it was,
Uh,
and it ends up being like $3,000 worth of stuff. Um,
oh my gosh.
what do you look for when you go to a garage sale?
Um, uh, I've kind of diversified myself. Like, I've figured out the niches that really work for me. And I think a better way to answer that is, what am I not looking for? Um, some of the things that I'm not looking for would be really trashed stuff. If it's not in great condition, I usually don't pick it up. What I am looking for are hot sellers. Like, if kids are into it, if I know it's a proven seller, like for me, models, like model kits, I buy every single time. They have been a spectacular seller for me, and I flock to those. But what I've created is a niche, and I sell really well with toys. I've done really well with Nerf, with Monopoly, with Barbie, I mean, there's a plethora of different toys that I've been able to sell. And so I immediately target all of my energy into finding a list of product. So again, Nerf guns, Barbie, I'm honing myself in on these products. And then when I'm out at a garage sale and I see somebody's collection, so let's say they have a collection of vintage radios, and with Scott finding this awesome deal, I'm not gonna only hold myself to, oh, I can't go over there, it's my niche. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna start scanning, I'm gonna start looking stuff up, I'm gonna communicate with the person having the garage sale and ask good questions. The best thing that you can do is ask good questions. Hey, where'd you get this? What did you get it for? Um, are you wanting to sell more? Do you have more? I've bought in 3 collections because I ask good questions, and they've been, ended up being incredibly lucrative. So it's important to have your niche, but not hold yourself strictly to that. And I mean, Dean, just like you were saying, Scott is a he's run multi-million-dollar companies. He's done this, and he's the one who trained me how to garage sale. Like, this is a man who you wouldn't think would be out on the weekends doing this, but yet he's out there and he's focused on getting that flip. He's focused on getting the profits, and he still loves it. It's fun. He takes his
Yeah.
family out there and doing it. It's a great thing to continue profits.
That's cool, man. I love that. The thing that I love about the garage sale is exactly what you said about asking good questions. There's been numerous times where somebody had, like, for example, I saw these Power Ranger Power Ranger action figures. Shouldn't say
Yeah,
dolls.
be careful. Be
Uh,
careful.
Power Ranger action figures. He had a couple of them, and I'm like, wow, do you have any more of these? And each one of these were going to sell for like $50 a piece, and he was selling them for like $2. Um, and he's like, yeah, I have a whole tub full of them, and he just boom laid it down, and I'm like, I'll take all of those, thank you. Uh,
Yeah.
Huge margins. Those went super fast. A lot of people like the retail arbitrage. They like the other things,
Yeah.
simply because you typically, the garage sales, things don't move as fast. Not always the case, but the thing I love about garage sales is it has to be a little piece of your pie of all the things that you're doing, but it's such a good high margin high margin uh, addition to your portfolio, I guess you would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like for me, I'm really strategic about how I garage sale too.
Yeah.
It's not just about like going out to a garage sale down the street. I'm typically going to anywhere between 10 to 20 sales a day. And the best times to garage sale are on the weekends, so Friday and Saturday. Sometimes Sunday. I don't typically go out Sunday. Um, but one of the good things to remember is estate sales are big money makers. If you're in the eBay business, estate sales are that's good stuff right there. Um, so make sure to check on Thursdays too. Estate sales typically go on Thursdays, and plan a route around that. So what I'll do, and what Brett has taught me is to go on Zillow, anywhere that you can price out what homes in that area that your garage sales are going to be. One of the things that he taught me was it's okay to judge. Like, it's okay to judge a neighborhood by its income, because you're typically going to have newer product in a higher income area. If it's a retirement community, those are gold mines. I bank on retirement communities because that's kind of the environment that I live in up here. Um, be willing to dig into that, but also understand that if it's a newer community, sometimes they have a bit higher prices. So don't just fill yourself with the higher community areas. Kind of map yourself around different parts of your town, and you'll start to find out in your towns which parts are better parts to go in. So when I was living in Southern California, I lived in Riverside, and I found out that the Corona um, area was really good for garage sales because there was a lot of newer stuff. The Upland area was pretty good. But then Riverside itself wasn't good for me. For some reason, it just didn't good. There were some good parts, but typically I would go towards more of the Corona side. And you just kind of map out your area and figure it out, and it ends up being really lucrative for you. Um, Also, make sure that you actually create a circle or a box, whatever your thing looks like. Make sure that you kind of create a system around all your garage sales so you're not wasting time and money. Make sure that you're going, the 7 a.m. garage sales are all lined up, and then the 8 a.m.s and the 9 a.m.s. You want to be the first one there. Like, if I can give you any top tip, if somebody, like, be there 15 to 30 minutes early while they're setting up their products. So if it starts at 7 a.m., be there at 6:45 at latest, because you want to be the first one to get their product. You don't want to be 5 minutes late when the guy before you just got all the good stuff. I'm typically, if I see stuff that I like, I'm there early. I mentioned on our Facebook group, uh, about using Craigslist for garage sales. It's one of my favorite resources. Go Craigslist, your local town, and then go to the garage sale section. And it is a priceless tool. I seriously have made so much money off of doing that because I can route all of my garage sales in one swoop, and then also figure out what sales are going to have the best product. Um, Judge it. Please judge it. Please judge the garage sales, because if you're wasting your time at a baby garage sale, when somebody's selling off all their baby stuff, and your niche is women's clothing, that's not going to work for you. Make sure you're planning your route around your niche, because that's really where you're going to end up staying in.
Awesome, man. I love it. What about so garage sales, any other things like thrifting, thrift stores? Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I love thrift stores. I actually have a thrift store right down the from the office, and I'll go there all the time. Like it's thrift stores they tend to be a little bit more expensive. But don't be afraid to get grandpa's hand-me-downs. Like, don't ever do it. Like, don't think that you're above, a certain product or anything. I found that vintage clothing is hot right now. People are dying for the vintage Hawaiian t-shirts. They're dying for the vintage, I say vintage. They're dying for 70s right now. 70s are super hot. Bell-bottom pants, if you can get, full jumpsuits, it's good stuff. Anything. Denim is hot. And you're not going to find a lot of that at garage sales, where you're going to find a ton of that at thrift stores. Um, Target your niche when you go into the thrift store. So for me, I head straight to the toy aisle because I want to find out if there's any Nerf guns, if there's any Barbies, if there's any of the typical toys I buy. I remember sitting down with one of the guys in the office, and he was like, "Hey, have you thought about doing any Rock Band products?" And I was like, "No, like they're big, they're bulky, they won't sell." And he was like, "Well, we've been selling super good. You should see if they work on your account." I went the next day to our thrift store and found 4 guitars. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pick the best ones in the lot, the ones that, are made by, it's the brand name, everything. I got home within a week, they sold. So don't be afraid to diversify even within your idea of your niche. Diversify out a little bit more of things you wouldn't typically buy. If you buy Barbies, you're not going for GI Joes. Try GI Joes, see if it will work, test the market. Thrift stores are a super safe place to do that. And also test your knowledge. You've created and built up this knowledge of your specific niche, and test it. Test your knowledge in that niche. Test your knowledge in what you've been working and building on. And again, I want to bring it back. For those of you who are new, don't get overwhelmed. Start with step one. Go into your house and find things. Sell those, and then use the profits to go out garage sailing. Once you've made a little money garage sailing, go out to the thrift store. It's really a 1, 2, 3 punch. You don't have to do it all at once. I tell anybody that I'm coaching through garage sailing, start with $40. Go out and get $40. Break it up into ones, fives, and tens, and use that money sparingly. Only buy product you think you can sell. And then once you start creating revenue, then branch out a little bit more, branch out a little bit more. I want to alleviate your guys' stress. I want to alleviate personally, for me, I want to alleviate that. And part of that is I want to be there on our Facebook group, on our email. I want to help you guys to do the best job that you can. And for those of you who are veterans, those of you who have your own private label and stuff, don't ever think you're over or above just going out to a garage sale, because profits are profits. If you're making an extra 100, 200, $500 a month just going out and garage sailing, why would that ever be a problem? Don't be afraid to diversify what's on your page, your Amazon or eBay, or even your own website. It's good to remember that there's product out there that can ultimately make you thousands more a month. Um, it's our teams are easily bringing in $1,000 a month. Just a person. I know our team, up here will bring in $500-600 on a bad day. And then, upwards of I think the best day I've ever had was a $5,000 weekend or a $5,000 day in one day garage sailing. That's $5,000. And I probably put $250 into it. That's still an incredible flip rate. But there's gold out there. You just got to choose to dig it out.
I love it, man. I love it. I want to I want to go garage selling. Everyone's talking about it at the office. So uh, so I want to go to
Yeah.
garage selling. In fact, Dylan, I don't know if you know, not Dylan, Dylan Mario's son. He
Yeah.
ended up
Yeah.
finding he ended up finding like a really big score that it's like five figures type score that was
Wow.
being worked and stuff. So all off of garage
Wow.
selling. That's crazy. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
that's amazing, man. I love it. I love all this stuff. A lot of a lot of people who are in this class are much more on the Amazon side, and so
Yeah.
this is still kind of new with doing vintage stuff, doing estate sales with used stuff, and but you can see how profitable it can be
Yeah.
getting this stuff and putting it on eBay instead of Amazon, which we've been kind of focusing a lot more on eBay. Because why do we want to do this? Why do we want to talk about eBay? Why do we want to talk about Amazon? Why do we want to talk about online marketing? Why do we want to talk about doing webinars? Why do we want to talk about all these different things? Simply because you don't want to niche yourself into this one little thing when
Yeah.
there's so much out there. We love to be profitable in our business. Hence why we do these classes, why we sell courses online, why we garage sale, all those different things. So
Yeah.
um, and so yeah, it just can gets you can see how amazingly profitable this can be. In fact, you just did if you guys go to theonlineempireacademy.com and you click up on top products, there's a free section of all these classes that we're just kind of putting into archive, and there's one on Pinterest, where
Yeah.
Josh used Pinterest. He used Pinterest to make a. I think you ended up doing like three times as much or four times or something like that. And then Jose, I don't remember. Like Jose, who we're gonna have on in one of these classes later on. He ended up using Pinterest off of what you taught, and he went 600% more of his sales on eBay.
Yeah.
um, no one would think of using Pinterest ever.
Yeah.
Like I know I wouldn't have. So if you want to check out that, if you go to theonlineempireacademy.com, it's totally free. It's on the My Products tab. Awesome, awesome course. And someone's already used it. Literally less than a week. Someone already used it to up their game with Pinterest ads. Actually, it was yeah. He used Pinterest ads. You used organic Pinterest, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have him come on and talk about how to use Pinterest ads because that's something I haven't ventured into. I purely did it off of just using a Pinterest page. Um, and you had mentioned something about specifically with eBay. Um, this is also garage selling is a huge piece of an Amazon marketplace as well. You can get brand new stuff at every garage sale you go to. It's amazing what people have and what they're willing to sell. I started off getting printers from people, brand new printers, and selling them on Amazon. And then my biggest buy was a three-figure buy. I found out a garage sale with a lady who was retiring who had Barbie dolls. I contacted her before the garage sale was there, and was able to go to her house, and it was one of the biggest buys I've ever done in my career being with the team. Um, I don't remember. I don't want to quote numbers, but it was five figures, and that was huge. That was huge for us and huge for the team. Um, and you guys, there's huge opportunities, and a lot of that went straight to Amazon. I think only like it was maybe 10% of all the Barbie collection that we had bought went to eBay. So don't be scared to post stuff up on eBay or post up on Amazon. Like if you have board games or you find somebody's unopened Legos, uh, post it up. Post those up. If you find brand new clothing, Obviously, you're going to need to get qualified for that. But if that's already the niche you're working in, go out and find stuff. I promise there's stuff in your area. I'm in Redding, California. We are a very small town, compared to in LA, and I still find stuff for Amazon all the time. So please don't be scared to venture out. It's a multi marketplace with the garage selling and also with the thrift stores. And again, you probably have stuff in your house that you could get rid of that could make you extra cash.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. So if you want to broaden your horizons, we have a bunch of free classes on at the onlineempireacademy.com. Go to the top, go to the products on top. There's a bunch of free courses, free classes, and we actually have some premium courses that we've added. Like one is how to launch a digital product business, like we're doing right now. Um, but broaden your horizons. You have stuff. In fact, I don't think you ever thought of doing any of this digital marketing type stuff, digital products type stuff before, right? And um, yeah, the cool thing about it is now you get to share all the stuff that you have, and you get to, you know, be able to turn it into a business. Really cool. So, what are some of the things that are happening up that's coming up, Josh? And then we're gonna take off and let the people who are here do some Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, I'm working super, super hard to get you the best information possible. And what I'm doing is I'm putting together a course that will basically teach you how to optimize social media to the best of your ability. So I've found people who are already doing this, and I'm going to bring them on our show, and we're going to talk through what are the best ways to optimize social media as a whole. So you guys, please be watching out for this, because this is going to be an incredible opportunity to use free avenues to create incredible revenue.
Revenue
It's
off of your eBay and Amazon listings and things like that, right?
correct. And even if you have a website, if you have your own product working, these are I want to teach you guys how to do this on social media. My generation is passionate about social media. It's they're spending 4 hours a day on it. Be the ad that they see. And that's what I want to talk about.
That's awesome, man. I love it. All right, guys, that is the end of this class. We will see you next time. If you want to join us on these classes, you can go to theonlineempireacademy.com/live podcast and be a part of it. Those who are here right now, you guys are awesome. We get to do some Q&A. So start putting your questions in now so we can talk about garage selling. We can talk about anything that you like, and we will answer those questions. But that being said, is awesome. Can't wait to continue to do these things for you. If you have any topics or feedbacks, in fact, you can leave us voicemail feedback, and we'll actually play you on one of these live classes. Play your voicemail feedback. It's 714. You call the number 714-643-5301. That's 714-643-5301, and we will literally play you on this podcast. Whatever your question is, things like that, feedback. Would love to hear it. Try to keep it under a minute. But we would love to hear your questions. So, all right, we will see you in the next Online Empire Academy podcast. Cool, guys. We're done, at least with that portion of it. What are your questions for Josh when it comes to garage sailing? What are your questions? Can be a social media, can be garage sailing, could be on why Josh hasn't sold his monopolies back there. Whatever you like.
Those are actually for Amazon. So speaking of board games, we picked those up a few weeks ago. Just need to send them to Amazon now.
Awesome. So how do you actually do that? Are those used or is those new?
Those are used. We found that used games work on Amazon. So
Yeah.
we'll check contents inside of them. Just make sure all the pieces are there. Some people like to piece out Amazon boards. So just make sure all the pieces are there. And then I usually throw a rubber band around them, put them in a big box, and ship them out. It's super easy, super good way to make some extra money.
Awesome. Kiran says, how do we get access to the social media promotion?
Dean, I think you could best answer this. We're going to be running some some ads for it here pretty soon. Not ads, but we'll be telling you guys, keeping you guys posted on what's coming up next.
Yeah. So as far as the class that Josh is doing, we'll have that. We'll probably have a webinar next week, kind of going over what the class is going to be, and then also share a lot of tips that he's already learned, just like we did in the last one. If you want to go and check out, actually, one of the coolest things you can do right now is go to the onlineempireacademy.com and then go to the products section. And go to the Pinterest one that teaches, and you'll learn at least on Pinterest. But in the actual class that we're going to end up doing, it'll be Pinterest, Instagram, which Instagram is huge with what we do with Triple Thread,
Yeah.
Facebook, things like that. And you would never think, like, how does this even affect eBay and Amazon and stuff like that? But it does, and I'm not joking with Jose. He's going to be on one of the classes teaching what he did. He was selling about $100 a week on one particular listing, and then he used sponsored ads. Actually, he has a little. If you're part of the Online Empire Academy group, the Facebook group, if you go to Facebook and just type in the Online Empire Academy. He has little tiny little report, like an ebook thing that he created, and there's no opt-in or anything like that. You just download it or whatever. He goes step by step how he did it. But he went from $100 off of this listing a week to $600 off of this listing, and that's a 600% increase. That's crazy. I love it. That's so cool. Just using social media, you would never think of using Pinterest that way.
Yeah,
So,
this is incredible.
So just stay tuned. We'll send out an email next week on the class for it. We'll probably end up doing a webinar first, just to kind of explain what's going on, and then also to share a lot of cool stuff that we've figured out, and then talk about the class or whatever. Gene says, I have some used novels that are in really good condition, but Amazon said I can't bundle, but I can cross promote. Have you done this, and how does it work?
I haven't. I actually, I'm not sure. I know Amazon has recently changed a lot of their stuff, so it's a little bit hard to use, or to do use stuff unless it's like really specific.
Mhm.
Um, Cross promoting, I'm not sure. I would say I would suggest bundle them and put them on eBay. eBay's more my forte. I'd love to learn more about Amazon and cross promotion. That actually sounds pretty legit. But I know that typically novels will do pretty good if they're in a bundle, and people love them. So you may make a couple dollars less, but it's a great way to at least get the product moving. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and in fact, if you've never, we're definitely a lot of the people who listen to these classes are Amazon heavy, like very leaning
yeah,
towards Amazon. But more and more, like I'm learning that it's cool because like eBay used to be the thing, and then now everyone's moved over to Amazon, and now eBay is starting to become like this. It's almost like when eBay first started, it's a gold mine again. So. The cool thing about it, Gene, is that if you go to the product section on the onlineempireacademy.com, uh, Josh did a whole course on eBay, on getting started with eBay. I think it was the 5 simple secrets to selling on eBay.
yeah.
Um, I would just do it on there, bundle your books on there. Um, and Gene says, my idea is to do books in a bag, 2 novels, tea, cup, tote, and bag. Ooh, that's pretty cool.
I love that. I would put 2 teacups in there. You want to make it like I would even suggest making it a couple's experience. Have two of your books, 2 bags, tea, and create it as an experience rather than just a novel or just tea. I think you can make that's a great idea. I think you can make something out of that.
Seriously, that's awesome. I love that. That's cool. Yeah, that's a nice little niche. And in fact, that might even do well with Pinterest. Just from
Absolutely.
take a picture of the bundle or whatever, and
Mhm.
Oh, that'd be cool, man. And do it. Send it to the eBay listing for that. Oh, cool,
Absolutely.
cool.
Even get pictures of people using your product. So have whoever in a coffee shop, a couple reading books with their teacups together. Just take a picture. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just take that and then post it on Pinterest and start pinning things like that so that you kind of create a following with that and it's I think that's a really good idea. Great idea. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Cool. Great question, Gene. That was awesome. Any more questions, guys? We're here for you. This is what we do. We love doing this. We get paid to do this. Who would have guessed that we get paid to do this stuff? Love it.
Seriously.
Um,
It's the best.
get paid to learn, and get paid to do the eBay, Amazon stuff, and get paid to help people. How cool is that? Um, cool. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? We are here. Um, what was I gonna say? There was another um, thing. Yeah. So just kind of talking about these. Like I said, I mentioned before, if you become an affiliate of the Online Empire Academy, it's an easy way to make money. Um, the sending people to these free things, and they get a ton of value. And if they ended up buying one of our premium products, you get credit for it. How cool is that? Um, so yeah, if you go to theonlineempireacademy.com actually not forward slash, go to the top and do affiliates. Lisa has a good idea. Lisa says at the beach on a blanket. How cool is that?
I'm into it. That sounds good right now. I want to be doing that right now. That sounds great. Now, also, you guys, this is like what we want to create is a group who's out there to help each other. So, Gene, you're posting up an idea. There's a bunch of people who have great feedback on, would you like this product? Would you not like this product? Do you think this product would sell? There's people who are way better at what I do than what I do. So what we're trying to create and what we'd love to create, and what I'm passionate about, is creating a group of people who is going to help each other. I'm going to be posting up my finds. I want to see what you guys are finding. And I'm going to be giving you guys my top tips, and I want to hear what you guys are finding, or if it's helpful, or if it's like, man, I don't want to hear about eBay anymore. Like, I want to hear more about Amazon. I want to be the person to help bring the content that you guys want. Um, so please, 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 like, let me know, let us know what are things we can be fighting for and pursuing, as well as share your success, like what Jose did. That was incredible. That was the most encouraging thing for me because I've seen success in this, but I want to know that you guys are seeing success. And if you're seeing success, let's figure out if we can bring you on and we can have you as an affiliate, if we can create something with you. I mean, this is our whole goal. We want to create a community that's passionate about online marketing and online entrepreneurship.
Love it. Love it. Cool, man. All right, guys, if you have no questions, we are going to depart. So this was generally on garage sailing, thrifting, things like that. I mean, we all kind of start there. Don't let that be don't let it go by because, man, more and more I see Brett going out, see Scott going out, see all these people who like they run huge businesses and they're going out and they're getting $5,000 worth or 10. Like actually Brett was like bummed because old Brett was like, I want to be number one, and he ended up doing like a $3,000 score or whatever, and Scott ended up doing like a $10,000 score throughout for that entire Saturday, and he's like, oh crap, um, $10,000, and I think they spent like under 300. How crazy is
Oh
that?
my
That's
gosh,
amazing.
that's beautiful.
Gene says, "Is this weekly?" Yes, it is weekly. Every Thursday. Every Thursday we do these. You can register if you go to theonlineempireacademy.com/live podcast. You can register and re-register there. I think, and don't get me wrong, if you're registered for this one, you might actually get automatically registered for next week's, but it should end that week. So you might see an email come through. Just because I'm new to this setup, So if you get an email for the next time, that's what happened. But then after that, it'll stop. So you'll need to re-register and stuff like that because we don't want to just spam and email you guys every week or whatever. Want to give you the choice to be to be here. So yeah, it's a weekly thing, and we'll have a different topic every week. We'll try and keep it around a specific topic every week for a few weeks. I mean, and then we'll switch to something else because sometimes eBay might be the big thing for a few weeks, or social media might be a big thing for a few weeks. Amazon, um, or online digital marketing, things like that. And you know, these are all ways to bring about more. I mean, you think of even like with digital marketing, think of some of the people that you've taken courses from or that you have been on webinars with that know how to sell on Amazon and eBay, things like that. They're no different than you and I. I mean, the only difference is that they're doing this. They're creating classes and doing webinars, and then they just happen to say, "Oh, buy my product here." And if it's an awesome product, it's an awesome product, and they've just created a new source of income. So you can do that too. Um, I know a lot of people are afraid of that. Whenever I try and get people to do it, so. But anyway, all right, Josh, take us away, man. Oop, take us away, and we'll end it here if there's no other questions.
Yeah, so you guys don't be afraid to well, don't be afraid to make some extra cash. Like there's incredible opportunities out there. I'm passionate about making you guys the most money as possible. I don't think that poverty should be a thing, and I'm going to do my best to work to see that anybody who has $20 in their pocket can make something for themselves. So you guys, we're here to help, and my desire is to help. Dean's desire is to help. Brett's desire is to help. Scott's desire is to help. We're here, and we want to help you guys to the best of our ability. So I hope this alleviated some stress for you, and I'm excited to see what happens next. It's going to be a good thing.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we'll see you next Thursday. Good things coming. All right. See you guys. Matt says, thanks, guys. See you, Matt. You're welcome. David says, thank you for the awesome info. David, you're welcome too. All right. See you guys.